Hello and welcome to Quick Tip 89. I had a question about using the list of collections. So we're going to do a quick example and I'm going to explain how to import a text file into a list of collections and then how to read the data back. So first of all, the file that we're going to be using is here. We start with a date, a time, and then we've got 5 numbers. We're going to import that using the EL collections. If you're not familiar with EL collections, then you can go to the link that I provide and you can download it. It's been around for a while, but I think it still has a lot of good things going for it. So the first thing to notice is that this information, if we put it into a spreadsheet type format, what we actually have are several columns. And what the EL collections does is it creates the collection, but then when we read the information back, for example, into a list of numbers or a list of strings, it does it in columns. So what do I mean by that? Well, let's go through the example and I'll try and show you. So the input is the name of the file, which I have on my hard drive, and then we have various variables. We have a list c.new, that's a list of collections, and we also have 2 list s's, they're list of strings, and then we have list of numbers, and what we're doing is we're creating those in the variables. And then on the first bar of the chart, we're first of all reading the file in. We do that using listc.readFile. That has 2 things here in the brackets. The first one is going to be the name of the collection once it's been read in, and the second one is the file name, in other words the user input that we were talking about a few seconds ago. So that's the first thing we do in the program. The next thing we need to do is we need to extract the data so that we can read what's in there. So the first one we do is we extract the dates column into a list of strings named dates. We do that using dates equals listc.get, and then we put in the list C ID again, which is that's the name of the list of collections in our program, and 1 because we're talking about the first column. So just looking back at the variables, we have dates and we're setting that up as a list of strings, and then using that list of strings we're getting from the list of collections using the list of collections name, which is list C ID, and we're getting the value that's in the first column, and we created that name listc_id. If you just go back here again, you'll see that we create that in the variables listc.new, and then once we've done that we can verify that the information is correct. So what we're doing here is we're comparing the values in the dates with the values that I showed you on the spreadsheet or in the text file. So for example, in the first position what we should see is 2018 1-1. So let's go to the program and see 2018 1-1. And then similarly from dates row 4, 2018 1-25. If we go to our file here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2018 1-25. So that all measures up. Now let's do another one. For example, we created a list of strings called times, and we get the information from the list of collections again using listc.get, the name of the list of collections, listc_id, and then 2 because that's in the second column. Once we've done that, we can print the values in that. So let's have a look at the value in 2, for example, using the list_s.get. So in row 2 it's 170200, in the original file 170200, and so forth. So we do something similar to that for the numbers, except this time what we're doing is we're using num2. Now num2 is the list of numbers, and if we just go back to the top you can see here num2 list_n.new. So we're creating that as a blank list of numbers there, but then we're putting things into it when we actually go the num2 equals listc_id. Again, that's the name of our list of collections, and then 4 is the column. And well, you can verify the numbers if you choose to do so. And then finally, I create a num5, another list of numbers. But then rather than just doing get based on the index on the column, what I'm doing here is using the list n.rewind of num5 and then list n.next, and just going through the list using the next function. And if you don't have EL collections, if you want to download it, you can also download at the same time a PDF that was made available at the time, which has a full explanation of all the different functions. And then finally, I use the list n.back of num5. So if we look at our program, we'll see that the rewind next functionality says that the last value is 141, and then using list n back for num5, it's also 141. So hopefully that will be useful to you. Thank you very much.